doubt have another attempt at that black this time.
Must be a plant on there, the way Alex played that green. He's obviously played to get on a plant.
Nine. Seventeen.
Complete contrast in styles of these two players.
24.
Higgins here, the flamboyant. Again, splits the reds all over the table.
30. 31.
36.
36. 37.
Almost stepped that one in.
42. 43.
Just drops.
49.
The
50.
half century. Referee John Strick
57.
working overtime to get the balls back on their spots.
58. 65. 66.
This is the speed that Higgins enjoys. Completely opposite to the lackadaisical or leisurely Terry Griffiths.
73.
Equals Griffiths' break.
74.
Goes in front of it. Tries to shift those two difficult reds. 81 now, and still 3 reds to go. Just doesn't work. A magnificent 81 break then to bring back the life to Alex Hurricane Higgins. And Griffiths remains in his chair. He concedes the frame with 3 reds left, I should say. But leading, of course, 2 frames to 0. Higgins with that magnificent 81, now trailing by just 1 frame.
Well, some really terrific snooker going on.
Into the fifth frame then of this 17-frame final with the scores all square, 2 frames each. Breaking off, Alex Hurricane Higgins. Higgins, who won the second of the first 4 frames, the second 2 frames that is. His opponent, the world snooker champion Terry Griffiths. Terry started off in great form, took the first 2 frames, making a magnificent 73 in the second.
One.
The 4th frame went to a black ball tie.
Eight. Nine.
Delicate little shot here. I think he'll play to screw the cue ball onto the middle of those 3 reds to leave one into the corner.
Sixteen.
Rather a long bridge here with the rest, owing to the reds intervening. Concentrating on not fouling,
17.
he's taken the cue ball too far around the table.
Mm. 22.
Well, it looks as if there's a choice of 2 reds there, one into the corner, one to the middle. He's playing the one into the corner, and this should split the reds up a bit. He's got to try and squirt the cue ball through that gap to get down for the blue.
$23.
I think he'll probably try and take the blue into the corner and bring the cue ball back almost into the position that it's in now, so the red across in the corner.
$23. Terry Griffiths.
23 points then to Griffiths. Scores all square, 2 frames each.
One.
Higgins had a great break of 81 in the 3rd frame. Not quite hard enough there.
8.
Yeah, certainly underhit that one. He's at least 6 inches short of where he intended to be.
8. Alex Higgins.
Great try. There's £10,000 awarded to the player who could possibly make a maximum break of 147. There's £250 for the highest break of the championship. At the moment, this man here, Terry Griffiths, the world champion, has the highest break. A 100 break he made in the 5th frame against Spencer last evening. Quite naturally getting a little cat and mouse at the moment. Studying the pack of reds. That red going very near the top pocket. Higgins ignoring it completely,
One.
although a great fluke.
Five. Six.
Come very close to the green this time.
playing the safety shot here, trying to leave things as awkward as possible.
6, Alex Higgins. Terry Griffiths, 23, Alex Higgins, 14.
9 points in it then. Now, Terry's played a bad shot there. In fact, he caught the red far too thickly.
One.
And I think the cue ball's come to rest on the red.
Yes, I don't think Alex can quite believe that. He should have been, of course, nicely on the pink. In fact, he snookered on all balls.
The cue ball sitting on the red, pink over the pocket.
Green.
Nominated the green.
Foul stroke. 4, Terry Griffiths. 1, Alex Higgins.
Just 4 points away.
Yes, Alex a little unfortunate there. Unfortunate first to snooker himself, and then unfortunate that the cue ball dropped into the corner pocket, because it now gives Terry Griffiths quite an easy stroke to play, which might have been rather difficult had he been tucked into the corner of the table.
One.
Looks as if this will be the brown into the middle pocket to come up onto these reds, which are nicely open at the top. Having once get established up here, there's no reason why the lot couldn't disappear here.
Five. Six.
Working out all the moves.
Thirteen. $14. 21.
Looks like a red into the middle and the pink to follow.
22.
Higgins Higgins sits quietly, realizing the mistake he's made. As John Pullman said, a little unlucky, Higgins, running in off into the bottom pocket.
28. 29.
'Come a little bit the wrong angle on that pink. He may well have to run through with this to get on the red that's on the top cushion.
Now he's looking at the scores, and in fact, if he takes this pink, Higgins will need a snooker.
$35. 36. 43.
Now 55 points in front. The last red at his mercy.
$44. 50.
A half century.
$52.
Absolutely devastating is this man.
$55. 59.
A lot of side there brings the cue ball back behind the blue. The break goes to 64.
64. 70.
A magnificent clearance then by the world snooker champion to go one frame ahead again of Alex Hurricane Higgins by clearing up that fifth frame with a break of 77 to take the frame at 97 points to 104 points to 15.
Well, again, a very long way to go in that.
Good evening from Wembley. Yes, finals night in the Benson & Hedges Masters Championship. Last night we had a marvellous final in prospect. Alex Higgins, last year's beaten finalist here, against the world champion Terry Griffiths. And I can tell you, we most certainly haven't been disappointed. At the end of the afternoon, it was 4 frames all. It's the best of 17 frames, and we joined play at the beginning of the evening session.
And the 9th frame with Alex Higgins to break. And not a very good one at that.
Well, Alex will be absolutely disgusted with that. He's immediately given Terry Griffiths a chance to get in and score a few points there.
1.
Worst possible break he could have made.
Well, there we see Alex, who
8.
started rather badly in this frame and already has whipped his bow tie off, so that's an indication that he's going to try and make amends, we hope.
Nine.
Well, Terry's being plagued by moths today. We've had 2 or 3 occasions when it's done its best. Somebody must have opened their purse somewhere, I think.
Nine. Terry Griffiths.
So Griffiths starts with a small lead of 9 points to Alex 0. And Alex really is rather fortunate to be only 9 in arrears from the terrible break he made. And he's disappointed with that. One gets the impression, watching these 2 players, that whilst Alex has all the ability, that he lacks the patience. He tends to rush his fences at times when he should just sober down a little. And Terry, of course, really a fine artist of a player. He's as solid as a rock, really steady. And there you see quite a subtle shot there. He played to pot the red, but always with the thought of safety in mind.
One. Eight. Nine.
You know, John, we're always talking about Alex with his tremendous skills. Nobody will deny that, and yet really he doesn't get the success that he should have. Would you say that if he slowed his game down,
14.
settled down a bit, do you think he'd be the same player?
Well, I don't think it would be possible for him to do that. As we know, he's a very highly strung young man, and I think in order to play the game at all, he's got to play it in the way that he does.
15.
One thing's for sure, he's got a tremendously quick brain for the
22.
game. He can assess a situation in a flash, and that's why he can play the game at the pace that he does. He sees things so clearly and so quickly.
23.
We'll be just trying to disturb the reds a little here. That looks pretty good. Red on into the corner.
30. 31.
I must say, watching Alex
38.
over the years, he's one of the few players, in fact I don't think I've seen any other player who varies his technique to such an extent. I mean, if you watch very carefully, you'll notice that on many occasions
39.
his bridge hand goes so close to the cue ball when he's trying to play a very accurate shot. Another time he's way back with too much over the end of his hand, in fact. But he certainly makes it work.
Alex Higgins.
So 39 there to Higgins. Griffiths 9.
Possible chance to winkle one into the middle pocket here.
Well, that was a very nice try.
Alex Higgins, 39. Terry Griffiths, 9.
Well, there is a ball that will go there, but it's quite impossible to forecast what Alex is trying to work out here. I would think it's got to be a shot to nothing anyway. There must be safety in mind here because it's far too difficult. Well, that's beautiful strength. And that is about the most difficult position you can be in. Really tucked up on the cushion there. Terribly hard to play.
1.
Well, the problem is how to get on the reds here. The green is easy. The yellow offers easier positional play. I don't think he can see the yellow there, having a second look. No, he can't see the yellow there.
Well, Alex attempted to screw the cue ball onto the
5.
red that's on the side cushion there, just below the middle pocket, but unfortunately for him, didn't make contact with him. Tried to just push that over the middle pocket.
Five, Alex Higgins.
Well, there are 67 points on the table, so there's plenty there for Griffiths to still do something. I think he might be looking at a plant there into the bottom pocket, the two reds close together. Be a rather cheeky one, it's a long way to go.
Well, of course, he's got the advantage of the green being there. If the red goes onto the side cushion just in front of the green will help it into the pocket.
Wow, that was even better. Tremendous.
1.
The red into the
8.
opposite bottom corner pocket this time to come back for the black again.
He certainly didn't mean that one to
9.
roll off, did he, John?
It's a little bit thin on this black, I think, in order to be able to screw the cue ball into the reds. That, I think, is what he'll be trying to do. Can't play it slow. May play to go down for the red on the bottom cushion.
$16. $17.
That'll be the yellow to come up onto the red that's closest to the top cushion. That one will go into the corner. Well, he's made a bit of a mess of that.
Foul stroke. 17, Alex Higgins. 4, Terry Griffiths. Free ball.
Well, there's 43 on the table.
Well, referee John Street there used the red that had already been potted in this game to determine whether or not there was a free ball there. By putting the odd red on the table, it's much easier to see whether a full ball can be hit or not.
Seven. Eight.
Well, a little bit strong on that one. I think he definitely played a good on the blue there, but he won't mind that too much. Yellow brings him quite easily up onto the last two reds.
Ten. $11.
Well, I
18.
can't help thinking Alex was a bit unfortunate to knock the brown into the middle pocket just now. It's given Griffiths a chance to pinch this first frame of the evening session.
19.
So now
26.
Terry needs to take all the balls now to just get home in this frame. So he can't afford any mistakes.
28.
And they're very nicely situated. Balls virtually on their spots, apart from the green.
$31.
44-61. 22 on the table.
$35.
Looking now to see the angle that he needs to get onto the pink so that he can bring the cue ball to the top of the table for the black.
40.
Pop the pink, run through to the bottom cushion, try to get the cue ball up for the black ball. And that looks pretty good.
So this is the
46.
black ball game, and a very important one this is. And that's it. So it's 5 frames to 4 in favour of Terry Griffiths. And I can't help feeling that Alex was probably a little bit unfortunate there. But he was going nicely in the break when he accidentally potted the brown, and that turned the favour into Terry Griffiths' way. Well, there we see Alex. He's doing his usual routine of always picking the cue ball up, giving it a lick and cleaning it, which is very important because the chalk can tend to stick to the cue ball, and that's the ball that gets most work. And Terry there will be having his usual sip of Coke. Probably feeling very pleased to have won that one, I would think. Would you agree, John, that he was slightly fortunate there?
Yes, well, he cleaned up extremely well when he got the opportunity, of course, but as you say, he was very fortunate to get that opportunity. Alex looked to be sailing to quite a convincing victory in that first frame, but inadvertent little thing, knocking the brown in as he did, turned the tide in Terry Griffiths' favour.
Terry Griffiths leads by 5 frames to 4. Terry Griffiths to break.
And now the 10th frame with Terry Griffiths to break. Leading by 5 frames to 4.
One.
Now Terry, I'm sure, will be making that little extra surge in this frame. This is the one where you might be able to get the extra frame, which gives you a cushion of losing the odd frame, which makes all the difference to your confidence in potting.
Four. Five.
Well, he hadn't got quite far enough for that one. Found it very difficult to get on a red from there. Potting the blue, that is. He's changing his mind because of that, playing the brown.
Nine.
Playing with great confidence, this young man from Llanelli. Playing as well as he's ever played in his life, I'm sure.
Ten.
That was a little object lesson in concentration there with Terry. He stood up for a moment because somebody just fidgeted in their seat. So he just stands up and waits for them and gets down again.
17. 18.
Well, I would think he'd try a little tickle off the reds here. Well, they could have broken better, although I think he's got a straight one down
25.
into the corner pocket. Nice little stun.
$26. $33.
These little stun shots that you see played from the black to get on the next red, they're not quite as simple as they look. There are little touches of side, one way or the
34.
other, left hand or right hand, which complicate the potting of the ball, which is what this game is all about, of course.
We may well be in for a very sizable break here.
41.
41 already.
$42.
Just about right.
49.
Now he might break a red loose here, getting on the black. Yes, there you go. Nudged the pack,
50.
but nothing broke. So that's a 50 break. And he didn't get the run through on that. That seemed to kick, John. Did you notice that?
Yes, I think
57.
he got a little bit of a hard contact there. This happens at times, of course. He's left the red on into the middle, which is the one he played to get on, but he's not as close to it as he intended. Going to screw back for the black again.
$58.
Oh,
58.
dear.
Terry Griffiths.
Well, that would have been the one. So a nice break of 58.
Yes, I think if that black had drop checked, we could very well have seen all the rest go in. They're in ideal position.
Well, who knows, John? We might see it continued. $67 points on the table, so he can just about do it.
One. 8. Nine.
Just the right side of the blue there. Gives him a nice angle for the reds. A nice little smooth
14.
run through for the black. It looks as though he's screwing. Yes.
15. Twenty-one. 22. 29.
29 breaks so far, 42 on the
30.
table. And the colours note are all on their spots. And I'm
38.
quite sure if Alex was practicing, he'd give you any odds you like to mention that he'd pot these balls.
$43. 45.
Break of 45 so far. 25 on the table.
48. 52.
So he's now just 6 in arrears with 18 points on the table. And Terry there just possibly saying a little prayer.
57.
And this is the pressure one.
63.
Absolutely sweet as a nut. And there it goes. Beautifully played. Beautifully. So Alex Higgins makes it 5 frames all.
Yes, this match swinging first one way and then the other. And indeed, the world champion, Terry Griffiths, went on to win the 11th frame, 75-49, to make it 6-5 in his favour. So the world champion obviously wanting to consolidate that advantage. And he took a 75-3 lead in the 12th as well.
One. Seven.
Alex is sitting away from the table, probably trying to just free himself of the atmosphere. He's probably feeling a little bit uptight at the moment.
15. 17. 20.
Now, most players prefer to stun this off the side cushion. I wonder if Terry does. Yes, there we are. No side at all,
24.
just a plain stun shot. Just a nice angle on the blue.
$29. 35.
Break of 35 so far. 42, giving Terry Griffiths the 12th frame to lead 7 frames to 5.
And right now the players are taking a well-deserved rest, and they're expected back any moment, and then we'll know who's going to be the Benson and Hedges Masters champion for 1980, Alex Higgins or Terry Griffiths. Join us, won't you? And for the very last time, good evening from Wembley, as we wait to find out who'll be the Masters champion of 1980. When you were last with us, Terry Griffiths, the world champion, was leading Alex Hurricane Higgins 7 frames to 5, and he needed just 2 more frames to win the title. We're joining play now in the 13th frame. Griffiths has 21 points, Alex Higgins 45.
Break goes to 30 as we look at the scores. 52 points to
30.
21 in the favour of Higgins.
$31.
The problem of the last red.
Alex, of course, wasn't too concerned about getting on that last red precisely, because Terry Griffiths now needs snookers sufficient to win this frame.
38. Alex Higgins.
$38 points then to Higgins
Griffiths,
there
21.
at this
Alex Higgins.
very crucial stage of the 13th frame, leading 60 points to 21. And as John Pullman tells you, Griffiths now requires a snooker. Overstretches. Running off. That's 4 points away, and Griffiths can now tie.
4. Terry Griffiths.
Griffiths wants this red, the black, and the colours to tie.
Terry Griffiths 25. Alex Higgins 60.
difference of 35 points. A possible 35 points on the table.
Can't help feeling that that was a rather imprudent shot of Higgins there. The game practically sewn up. He'd only to be careful and mind his work, and flashed at the red and put Terry Griffiths back in with a chance.
Higgins obviously upset at the moment. Knows he made a mistake with a careless shot. Griffiths here still cool, calm and collected.
And he should get nicely on the black with his shot. Becky hasn't played it quite hard enough, but the black is still possible. Then we'll need the 6 colours to draw.
That's the one.
And this should be fairly easy for this young man. Missing very little. Should pop these in without any trouble.
10.
Just requires these last 5 colours to draw.
$13.
In fact, he hasn't come as nicely on the brown as he would have liked. Means that the angle on the blue might be wrong for getting on the pink. Doesn't want to come too far up the table.
17.
And looks as if he's going to have to leave a fairly long pink now instead of being able to get behind it.
$22.
The world champion. Great shot. The black will have to be
28.
respotted. A terrific performance then by Terry Griffiths, making his debut in the Benson Hedges Masters, leading 7 frames to 5, and after a big struggle in this, the 13th frame, draws level by taking the last red on the colours, and now the black is respotted, and we will fight out to see who in fact takes this frame. Will it be Higgins to draw 1 frame closer?
This, in fact, happened this afternoon when these two players were battling. And Higgins has played an identical stroke to this afternoon. And from this position, Terry Griffiths trying to put the black onto the top cushion from there, got a double kiss and left an easy black on for Alex Higgins. So, wonder what will happen. Now, this time he's played it Much better.
Oh dear. Not too bad.
Well, I think Higgins, Terry Griffiths will send this black around the table. It's possible that he might put this into the middle pocket, actually. It's called a cocked hat double.
Great shot. Predicted there then by John Pullman, the cocked hat double takes the frame to Terry Griffiths after a black ball tie and puts Griffiths one frame nearer the title of Masters champion, leading now 8 frames to 5, having had that tie and taking that frame at 67 points to 60. And so, as our audience chats about that 13th frame, the fortunes changing there quite often. Higgins starting off with a flurry, but it was, in fact, Terry Griffiths, the steadier of the two players. Alex here, a little, I would have thought, John, on the nervous tension side.
Well, of course, he was in a fairly safe position in that game, with Terry Griffiths needing a snooker to draw with one red left. But he played that rather imprudent stroke and finds himself yet another frame behind.
Terry.
And a little quiet word from Alex to the referee. What's that's
Terry
about,
Griffiths leads
we don't know.
by 8 frames to 5.
What we do know
Terry
is
Griffiths
that
to break.
Terry Griffiths, the world champion, is now leading by 3 frames, 8 frames to 5. And so we start the 14th frame with the world champion Terry Griffiths breaking off, leading by 3 frames. He now requires just 1 frame for the title of Benson Hedges Masters Champion 1980, his debut into this particular championship. For the 3rd consecutive year, Alex Higgins is in the final stages. He won this Masters title in 1978, defeated last year by the South African champion, and now up against the world champion.
That is a shot of a man playing with extreme confidence. Trickle that in to get on the black. Don't think he's come quite far enough for the black, actually. He's looking at it.
Those of you who saw the program last evening on this particular championship will recall an interview with Terry Griffiths when he promised to wear his favorite red shirt. It seems to be bringing him luck, or in fact, the thing he is really looking for, the Masters title.
8. 13.
Looking to see there whether in potting this red into the corner he can kiss the pink towards the middle pocket.
14.
It'll have to be a long blue now.
Great shot, John.
Well, he's hitting the ball so beautifully that those shots might as well be over the pocket. He
19.
approaches those with no hesitation at all.
20.
And he's not far enough below the blue. 20 points ahead, Griffiths, looking for this frame for victory. He got to the final by defeating the Canadian champion Cliff Thorburn. He then made a whitewash, a clean whitewash, 5 frames to 0 against the former world snooker champion on 3 occasions, John Spencer. And it's less than 12 months ago that he entered his first World Professional Snooker Championship and took the title.
Twenty-two. 23.
Again, he's not quite far enough down the table for this blue. The grin on the face tells you the story. As ever, studying every possibility. Leisurely stroll around the table.
We'll now try and pot the straightish red, I would
28.
think, into the top pocket. Looking to see the possibility of getting on the black. It's a little bit tight by the look of it.
Twenty-nine.
I think he's in the position that he was in the beginning of this break, and he is on the black. Well, the way he's shaking his head, I doubt that he can quite pop that. He potted the pink before. I don't know whether the pink will go this time. Doesn't look as if it will. Have to be the blue.
Oh, a great shot. Played John with complete confidence.
34.
Well, you can only knock balls like that in, of course, if you are completely calm. To screw back for the Reds with complete disregard for the fact that one might miss the blow. One needs extreme confidence
35.
to play their shots. This time he's nicely on the black.
And sat in his chair, unable to do anything about it, watching for the third year, having won it 3 years ago in 1978, losing the final last year, and now seeing it gradually drifting away.
$42.
Break now, 42.
$43.
That's the half century. He went out in a blaze of glory on his
50.
5th frame against John Spencer with a magnificent 100, the highest break in the Benson Hedges Masters this year. And that carries 250 pounds.
51.
And that break, of course, may well be beaten here. Not that it will matter very much, of course, because it looks as if this could be the last frame of the championship.
Left himself a Chinese snooker, John.
Yes.
Very difficult over the red.
58.
I think it's a bit problematical, this, because in potting the red, I think he's going to kiss the black slightly.
He must have one foot on the floor and the bridge hand very loose. Played almost perfectly
59.
as he looks at the scoreboard. Now 59 points. Higgins 0 so far. This frame is the one that Terry Griffiths requires for the title of Masters Champion 1980.
$66. $67. $74. 75.
Still 3 reds to go. He's a little bit unlucky on that kiss.
82.
Well, he caught the red absolutely full in the face. If he'd caught it either side, it would have split beautifully, and no problem at all. But now he's in rather an awkward position. He can snick this red into the middle, but it's not an easy shot by any means.
Digging into the cue ball. Oh, a great shot. There is no stopping the world champion, Terry Griffiths, now.
83.
Pulls the red into the centre of the table. The break goes to 90, and still 40-odd points on the
90.
table. In fact, there are 43. That means 2 reds and 2 blacks.
$91.
91. The smooth, flowing action of the world champion, making his debut in the Masters Championship
97.
1980.
$98.
98. A straight pink and the last 6 colours to go.
So I think he may well be a little too straight on that, Ted, actually. From my point of view of getting on the yellow.
He already has the £250 prize for the highest break, which he made against John Spencer.
$104.
And as I wait for the applause to die, he increases that break to 104. 106. The first prize in the
106.
Benson Hedges is £4,500, together with a magnificent gold trophy set at the end of the table.
$109.
Just 3 colours to go.
113.
And he's not played that too well.
118.
Perfect camera shot of the world champion and now the Masters champion. This flat will bring his break to 131, a magnificent performance by this 31-year-old Welshman from Llanelli. A fabulous performance. Great show, and congratulated immediately by a young man who must be terribly unhappy, Alex Hurricane Higgins, who, having been in the final on 3 consecutive occasions, lost out completely in the last 2 frames with this man here, Terry Griffiths, who has shot to the top of world snooker in less than 12 months and is now overcoming his other titles by adding to the world crown the title of Masters Champion 1980.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a way to finish. Could we just have the presentation party just before the applause? Presentation party of some senior people from Benson Hedges. We have Mr. Martin Watson, Financial Director of Benson Hedges, if you care to come forward, sir. And Mr. Leonard Owen, Director of Benson Hedges, who's responsible for all the sponsorship for Benson Hedges. I think perhaps we should have Mr. Terry Griffiths, World Champion, but now the Benson Hedges Masters Champion. Terry Griffiths, could you just... Terry? I know you're not actually too fond of this stuff, but perhaps Dad would like some. Some Veuve Clicquot champagne. Congratulations, a cheque for £4,500, the Benson Hedges Masters Champion. Ladies and gentlemen, can I just have a pause just for a moment for the man who's given us a lot of excitement this week, got a lot of fans, the runner-up, Alex Hurricane Higgins. Thanks, Alex. Unlucky, mate. I mean it, you know that.
Terry Griffiths, many congratulations. The Benson and Hedges Master of 1980 and also the winner of the Highest Break Award. You must be a very happy man indeed.
Yes, quite happy at the moment. I should be, shouldn't I?
What was the turning point of the match?
Well, there's quite a few, really. This afternoon was sort of up and down. Alex should have won a few frames and he lost them, and it was the same the other way. But tonight, I think, was turning with the first frame. Alex was more or less safe. He potted the ball and kissed the brown in the middle pocket. And if that wasn't bad enough, he gave a free ball and allowed me to clear up. And that more or less changed the match. Alex would have gone ahead one frame then. I think that it was a big turning point. A lot of things happened after that, but I think that was a very, very bad bit of luck for Alex, I'm afraid.
And you took your time on that last frame, didn't you?
Did I?
I think you did.
Well, see, when I go out there, see, once you miss some, you can sit down all night, but when you're out there, then it's up to you how long you take or how short you take. And when you play against Alex, he's such a quick, instinctive player that you tend to get in the same stride as him, and I can't play like that, you know. I wish I could, really.
So what about your form overall this week?
Yes, I've been very pleased this week. My form the last month or so hasn't been what I'd like it to be. But I played really well. I'm very pleased this week. And I'd like to say on behalf, I think, of all the players involved in the tournament this week, how nice has it been. The presentation by Benson Hedges has been first class. And the conditions to play have been very nice. And it makes it a lot easier for the players. I think the people don't really appreciate this, but it's been a first class event. And it's shown, I think, by the attendances what the people think of the tournament, and just nice to be in it, and of course we're in it.
People agree with you. We've seen also the tremendous tension of an event like this. Can you enjoy a final like this in any way?
Were you tense or what?
Were you tense?
Oh. I'm still tense, to tell you the truth, but that last frame I was in a bit of a state, but I need to be nervous. Get the adrenaline flowing, and then I tend to concentrate harder and somehow get the balls in the pocket. The pockets look quite small, I can tell you sometimes.
And preparations then for the World Championship coming up?
Well, I'm just slowly building up to it. Like I'm very pleased with my form in the Benson Hedges here, and I got a few weeks off before the championship, which I'll concentrate on, you know, my play at home there, and just hope that the other 52 players don't turn up, and then I got a good chance. Do you expect to be the favourite? I don't know, really. It doesn't really bother me whether I'm favourite. Like last year, I was 66-1, so what difference does it make?
At the lucky red shirt.
And the lucky red shirt on tonight, yes. Forever be home in Wales. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Benson & Hedges Master 1980, Terry Griffiths. Thanks very much, Terry.
To start, and 4 of the top Welsh professionals will be challenged.